closing stock of raw material means the stock of material left at the end of the current period. The stock of material left at the end of the current period is identified as a current asset. So therefore, it should be shown in the statement of financial position at the end of the current period, as we hope to use it for the production process in the next year. So closing stock of material double entry should be subtracted. Closing stock of material should be subtracted from the cost of production of the current period. According to that, the double entry must be material closing stock account debit, manufacturing account credit. As per number double entry number 4, material closing stock account debit, manufacturing account credit. So we move to the fifth double entry, direct and indirect salaries and wages. Adjustment is when we, as you know, when we make the adjustment for salaries and wages account debit, wage control account credit. You know, the EPF contribution of the employees would be deducted from the salaries and wages control account, and it will be credited to the EPF payable account from the wage control account. Therefore, the first adjusting double entry, first double entry is made as salaries and wages debit, wages control account credit. The important thing is the closing entry here. The closing entry of the salaries and wages, manufacturing account debit, salaries and wages account credit. So whatever the salary, may be direct salaries and wages, may be indirect salaries and wages, that should be added to the cost of production. According to that, manufacturing account debit, salaries and wages account credit. So the next double entry, double entry number 6, EPF and ETF expenditure. EPF and ETF expenditure of the salaries and wages related to the workers working in direct and indirect branches or divisions. So let's see the EPF and ETF expenditure of direct and indirect salaries and wages. EPF expenditure account debit, ETF expenditure account credit, EPF payable account credit, and ETF payable account credit as usually. We make the normal EPF double entry. So important thing is here also closing entry. So EPF expenditure and ETF expenditure should be added to the cost of production because by the EPF and ETF expenditure, the total cost of production of the period would increase, because as those people are working for the production process in this organization, they are like the cost of production would increase by salaries and wages. Due to the EPF expenditure and ETF expenditure also, the cost of production would must increase. Therefore, manufacturing account debit, EPF expenditure account and ETF expenditure account credit, because the cost of production of the period would increase by EPF expenditure and ETF expenditure also. Remember here, the EPF expenditure and EPF expenditure are the expenses of the workers who are working in the factory as the direct workers as well as the indirect workers. So direct wages, the EPF expenditure regarding direct salaries and wages should be charged to prime cost. It means at the upper part of the manufacturing account. And the EPF and ETF expenditure of the salaries and wages related to the workers who are working in the factory for different variety of purposes, providing their indirect labor, that EPF and ETF expenditure should be debited to the manufacturing account under the factory overhead, production overhead. Seventh double entry. The most important thing here is machinery depreciation expenditure. Adjustment, as everybody know, usually machinery depreciation account debit, provision for machine depreciation account credit. The important double entry here also, manufacturing account debit, machine depreciation account credit, which is charged under the production overhead. Manufacturing account debit, machinery depreciation account credit. 8th double entry,